Can you hear me well? We're going to wait a little bit more. There we are. Good afternoon. As we were saying, I'm pleased to welcome you all and to express this satisfaction and joy we feel today now as we inaugurate the offices of the Central American Bank for Economic Integration in the Kingdom of Spain, the gateway of Central America to Europe. I'd also like to share with you that this event is being broadcasted live through our social networks and YouTube. We're very honored by the presence of our distinguished guests, and we thank them, of course, for being here. Presiding over the inauguration of the corporate offices of the Central American Bank for Economic Integration, Mr. Gonzalo Garcia Andres, alternate Governor for the Kingdom of Spain to CABEI, and Secretary of State for Economy and Business Support, Mr. Dante Mossi, CABEI Executive President, and Mr. Jorge Marine, CABEI Director for the Kingdom of Spain. Of course, we'd also like to greet the special guests and collaborators of the Central American Bank for Economic Integration, as well as the representatives of the media who are with us here today and our viewers through digital platforms. It's a pleasure to have you on the other side, and we feel you very close in such special moment. You're very welcome. To learn a little more about the important contribution of the Kingdom of Spain in the Central American region, I'd like to invite you to watch the following video.
De Centroamérica a Europa, un país solidario, abierto al mundo y especialmente a la región centroamericana, con una vocación natural a brindar una cooperación plural, diversa y sustancial en favor del desarrollo humano. España es reconocida, respetada y valorada en el mundo entero y especialmente por los centroamericanos, por su gran impacto en el mejoramiento de la calidad de vida de las personas más vulnerables y desfavorecidas. Desde 2005, año de su incorporación al BESIE como socio extrarregional, el respaldo del Reino de España hacia los países del Istmo ha sido constante y esencial para enfrentar sus grandes desafíos, como la pobreza, la desigualdad, la falta de educación y oportunidades, la brecha de género y la preservación del medio ambiente. Apoyo que se refleja en el volumen de sus financiamientos, que a la fecha suman 496.9 millones de dólares y que han sido invertidos en forma transparente y efectiva en programas y proyectos de gran trascendencia para el desarrollo económico y social de los países de la región y sus beneficiarios. El BESIE ha canalizado en forma responsable, racional y transparente los fondos españoles, con resultados altamente positivos. Desde 1991, los montos de financiamiento del Reino de España a la región por medio del BESIE han sido ejecutados en iniciativas como Programa de Conversión de Deuda de Honduras frente a España, con 23 proyectos que en su primera fase ha beneficiado a más de 1 millón de hondureños, de comunidades vulnerables y escasos recursos. La segunda fase, actualmente en ejecución, elevará la cifra de beneficiados a nivel nacional, gracias a proyectos de gran impacto como el Aeropuerto Internacional de Palmerola, infraestructura vial, sistemas de agua potable en 7 ciudades, construcción y equipamiento del Hospital Departamental de Chinandega, reemplazo del Hospital Regional Nuevo Amanecer, construcción de la Central Hidroeléctrica La Reinaga, financiamiento a MIPYMES centroamericanas, ampliación de la carretera al Puerto de la Libertad tramos 2 y 3, construcción de los puentes sobre los ríos Anguiatú y Paz, Bósforo, 10 plantas fotovoltaicas, entre otros. Con la apertura de la primera oficina del BESIE en Europa, ubicada en Madrid, el Reino de España y el banco unirán sus anhelos y fortalezas en la búsqueda de nuevas y mejores oportunidades de inversión para empresas españolas y europeas en la región, elemento vital para continuar desarrollando a nuestros países. Con dichas inversiones dentro de un marco de estabilidad gubernamental, certeza jurídica y operacional, Centroamérica continuará creciendo como una región plena de oportunidades comerciales y de inversión, gracias a su posición geográfica estratégica e innumerables virtudes. España nos abre las puertas al viejo continente con su hegemonía y protagonismo en los espacios geopolíticos dentro de la Unión Europea. Su disposición a compartir importantes activos en áreas del conocimiento que nos enseñan nuevos modelos de desarrollo tecnológico, científico, económico, turístico, social y cultural. Su alto poder financiero en materia de cooperación internacional y particularmente su compromiso, amistad y sentido humanitario hacia nuestros pueblos que más lo necesitan. España y la región centroamericana compartimos una genética, un lenguaje, una cultura con grandes similitudes y un destino común hacia el desarrollo económico y social justo, generoso y lleno de oportunidades. Banco Centroamericano de Integración Económica, BESIE. Tu bienestar nos hace crecer.
I am now pleased to give the floor to CABEI's Executive President, Dr. Dante Mossi, who has a very important message today. Welcome. Good afternoon. Thank you for the honor of joining us at the inauguration. Secretary of State of Economy and support to the company, members of the government, honorable diplomatic sections, accredited by the Kingdom of Spain, Mr. Director, Jorge Mariné, CABEI Director for the Kingdom of Spain, special guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and good morning. Thank you for this effort we're making today, inaugurating the first office of the Central American Bank for Economic Integration in Europe, here in the territory of the Kingdom of Spain. Celebrating this friendship that we've had for 18 years, joined with the purpose of balanced social and economic development that CABEI represents. Today is a historic day. Since joining CABEI, Spain has promoted trade and investment, becoming a gateway that today is widening to open more and better opportunities between Central America and the European continent. Let us remember that the Central American region has a privileged position with great commercial potential. It connects North America with South America. It has an abundant, young and economically active population with natural resources and a tropical climate, conducive to the development of tourism, sustainable agriculture, and renewable energy generation, among others. As a region, it is the fourth largest economy in Latin America, has a modern system of 44 seaports on the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, a modern system of 22 airports, an interoceanic canal that provides communication and transportation facilities between Europe, Africa, and Asia, just to mention a few attributes. We are CABEI. We are the development bank of this region of opportunities. We were founded 62 years ago by a group of visionaries who understood that Central America required a multilateral bank of its own to address the particularities and needs derived from its geographic, demographic, and economic reality. Today, we're making that vision a reality by being the most relevant bank for Central America, with the best credit rating in all of Latin America, AA, granted by the main risk rating agencies, and on our way to becoming AAA. In the last 10 years, CABEI has channeled around 50% of resources invested in the region, many of them from sources such as Spain's Official Credit Institute, ICO, the French Development Agency, AFD, Germany's KfW, the Green Climate Fund, and the European Union, just to mention a few of many. I'm sure I'm missing some, but they have relied on the bank's soundness and financial strength to manage their resources. As I mentioned, Spain's been an extra-regional member of CABEI since 2005 with a 4.25% participation in the bank, with voice and vote to influence its decisions and through which it's subscribed different financing modalities that in time add up to over 702 million US dollars. As a good example of these modalities in execution, I would like to highlight the debt conversion program for Honduras vis-a-vis Spain, which has a fund administered by CABEI for up to over $138 million. In its first phase, this program executed 23 projects benefiting more than 1 million people from vulnerable and low-income communities in rural and urban areas. Darwin Torres is one of them, a Honduran 6th grader who learned to use the computer as a learning tool in his school. Or Angie Argueta, a 5th grader who in her agriculture class at a beneficiary school learned to make a school garden that allowed her to get good grades and eat healthy. This program is currently in its second phase, with more projects also having an international impact, such as the new Palmarola International Airport. The footprint of the Spanish contribution is also visible in financing for MSMEs, road infrastructure works in Costa Rica, solar energy in El Salvador, hospital, dams, and clean water systems in Nicaragua. This office is a step forward in strengthening, bringing closer these relations with Spanish and European companies interested in creating solutions and synergies in a world where climate change, sustainable mobility, the generation of clean energy, development of biotechnologies, and the strengthening of health systems are no longer local needs but global ones. The seeds have been sown. We've signed agreements for the promotion and reciprocal protection of investments with Spain that increase the legal security of investments in the region. With the European Union, we have an association agreement with a commercial pillar in operations, which, although it's been useful, it can be taken to the next level. That is why we're here, to connect needs with opportunities, to facilitate the exchange of knowledge and experiences, to strengthen the strengths of countries that make up CABEI, to consolidate CABEI's position as a protagonist of this development, because if language, music, soccer, football already linked us to our mother country, so does our commitment to the sustainable, inclusive, and balanced development of our peoples. I'd like to close by reminding you that this office is also yours, a space for closer ties and more agile communications to move forward and to generate new opportunities that will materialize in initiatives that will bring welfare not only for Central America but also for Europe through Spain. Many thanks. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for your words. We're going to invite you to the main reason why we're here, which is the cutting of the ribbon in these offices of CABEI, Madrid, Spain, Europe, to have that link always visible and present from now on. For this, I would like to invite you to witness this ribbon cutting and make it official. Yes, please, Dr. Dante Mossi, Mr. Gonzalo Garcia Andres, and Jorge Marine. I'm going to move over. There you are. Here come the scissors. We're about to officially cut the ribbon, and here we go. It's official. Now it's formally inaugurated, and at the same time, to celebrate this moment, a commemorative plaque has been designed. We're going to go down. The main gateway from Central America to Latin America, bringing the ties closer by boosting trade and investment. This office was inaugurated on February 17th, 2023 by Gonzalo Garcia Andres, Jorge Mariné, and Dante Mossi. And to finish and close this beautiful ceremony that we're so proud of, I'm going to give the floor to Mr. Gonzalo Garcia Andres, who is alternate governor for the Kingdom of Spain. Welcome. Thank you very much, President. It's a beautiful day in the winter with high temperature in Madrid. It's a bit difficult to remain silent here when we've been having some wine. You'll see this. Well, the truth is that it's a very happy day for all of us. And first of all, I'd like to thank the people who've been working so hard from the Ministry in Foreign Affairs to be able to be here, because I know from experience that having an office with a multilateral links to another country, it has there is a lot of logistics and preparation, and we need to thank them for it, and also for what it means creating this office for Spain, especially because for us Central America is a special region because of the links we have with them, cultural, political, historic links, ties, economic, with over 5 million euros of investments, also because of the priority it is in cooperation for the development of Spain, and at the same time because of the background we have in CABEI. I just told the president I spent 12 years in Tegucigalpa in the bank, and I learned that is not, well, he's making a joke with the way it's being pronounced in Spanish, CABEI. And 12 years later, I am honored to be able to see this step, decisive step, that shows the projection of this institution and the possibility that through Spain and the ties with Spain, they can expand their contacts and deepen in all the different relations with the European Union. We think that just the fact that you're in Madrid, this is going to make it easier. It's going to favor both relations through governments and their cooperation to development through the contact with the financial institutions, both public and private, in Spain and Europe. We have several stakeholders and players here of multilateral financial institutions. I think this is a key channel for the activity and cooperation of the bank. We also have all the work that ISEX and their network does in Spain to ensure that multilateral institutions can also be a connection element with development and also with the private sector, with Spanish companies. Since I worked in Washington, making it easier for the private sector, Spanish private sector, to be able to have access to business opportunities of a multilateral agency, but also to be able to contribute to the experience to reach the objectives of the institutions, to have an impact, and so that presence and that knowledge can be put in the service of the projects in the impact of the development. I think that's essential in their cooperation in a dimension that without a doubt is going to favor the creation and the activity of this office. At the same time, this is the right time to start this office, to open this office. In the last 3 years, we've seen with the pandemic and the human consequences as well as economic consequences, with everything we learned in this century, with so many economic and financial changes that we couldn't even imagine, we've been able to recover faster than we could anticipate, reacting, cooperating, taking measures to protect companies and families, to cooperate between the public and the private sector for vaccines. And now we do it looking forward to boost the transformation of our economies, as well as digital transformation with an investment boost that we had not seen before. Spain fought a lot in the European Union to be able to react in a different way to the situation triggered by the pandemic. And all these European funds, we are now in a phase where we are boosting cooperation, investments, and this is very fertile soil so that this multilateral cooperation can work at its maximum. We have very different societies and agencies and with different needs, but we have very common challenges. For example, climate change is a common one, and technological advances, solutions, experience to adapt to climate change, they are essential. And also, in the last year, especially in Europe, but also globally, we had the impact of the war in Russia and Ukraine, and how these influenced the energy and inflation. Again, we have applied what we learned also during all this time, and fortunately, despite all the negative forecast, this 2023, being cautious and knowing the challenges and uncertainties at global level, we have better perspectives. I think that it's essential to make the best of this opportunity, to be able to improve, optimize what CABEI is doing in the region. And also this year we have another opportunity, which is in the second half of the year, Spain will lead the European Union Council. This is going to be for several years, and it's an opportunity to be able to influence in the global agenda of the European Union. We have a joint meeting of the leaders of the European Union in July. We have a meeting of ministers, summit with the economic and finance ministers in Santiago in Chile, and this is going to be an opportunity so that all these initiatives, all this work that we've been doing so long, all this time to approach the European Union to Latin America, which sometimes is not easy. Of course, there are many other emergencies, and it's going to be possible. We need to understand that the war in the east of Europe can make it difficult to strengthen the links with Central America or Latin America. It's not true. We have a new geopolitical stage where maintaining multilateralism and strengthen our ties. There are many assets, economic assets and natural resources, political as well, and that are fundamental to be able to react to all the geopolitical challenges we have. So we have all the conditions for this office, which is strategically positioned right next to Spain's economic ministry. It can reach all expectations. For us, it's essential to continue collaborating and participating as shareholders, stakeholders, to continue improving the capital, and the money is important, of course, but as we know in the last few years is how the institutions work, how decisions are made, how projects are prepared, how the impact is measured, and we believe that CABEI has made a big progress, and there is still room for more improvement. Congratulations, and I wish you the best for this very cold weekend.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, Gonzalo Garcia Andres. Now we're concluding the ceremony of CABEI in Madrid, Spain, Europe. And now we'd like to invite you to the cocktail reception in the forum room on the first floor of the hotel right next to us. It's been a pleasure being here with you. Thank you for being here in person and also who've been following us virtually through this streaming. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.